Hello and welcome to today's episode of Ask the Guitar Coach. Today we have a particularly interesting question, a question that I get asked all the times and I've seen hundreds of times the specific symptoms. Here it is. I've been playing self-taught guitar for 10 years now, but my playing has not developed during the last 6 or 7 years. What can I do about it? So this is a very common question, as I said earlier on, and very important to understand why this is the case and why this is something that happens with, I dare say, the vast majority of self-taught players. It's not lack of talent, it's not lack of musical ability or musical understanding. The problem is that when you started playing and you started teaching yourself, you made some initial mistakes that basically are not letting you move more. This is pretty much the maximum you can reach, the maximum development without fixing these mistakes. So, can you get better? Yes, you can. Can you get better by doing what you've been doing? Absolutely not. There's no way. You basically reach the limit of your musical development as far as the specific method of learning is concerned. What is the specific method of learning? Teaching yourself. This is as far as the specific procedure could take you. It cannot take you any further. To get further, to develop your playing even more, you need to change your procedure. Now, as I have mentioned several times, the best way to change this procedure and to get better is to get a guitar coach. This is the absolute best way and the only one pretty much I would suggest to anybody who asks me this question. However, there may be other ways as well, but you definitely need to change what you've been doing. If you just keep doing what you've been doing for the last 10 years and you've been stagnant for the last 6 or 7, you're just going to stay on the same kind of playing for the next 10 years and then the next 10 years after that, and nothing is going to change. In order to illustrate it a little bit better, I'm going to give a kind of lengthy example, so please bear with me. Let's suppose that you want to build a house, to live with your girlfriend, and you have built a small cabin in the woods where you have some land, and you have built this house for 2 people. Now, the house is meant to house 2 people. It's not meant for more people, and it's perfectly fine for 2 people. Then after a couple of years, your brother and your sister say, wow, this is really nice over here, we want to live there with you as well. So they go and expand the house on the side and maybe even put a floor on top. So now, the house that was meant to accommodate 2 people will need to accommodate 2 more people plus another floor. Then a couple of years later, you have kids, or your sister and your brother have kids, and there are more people running around, so you need to have another floor to the house. Now, once you have gone beyond the first floor, this becomes a very major problem. Why? The foundations of the specific cabin cannot support more than 1 floor. What can you do? You need to go to the foundations and either rebuild them or find a way to strengthen them so that they can support as a structure more floors. What you did with your playing to turn it around to the guitar is you started playing for fun and started playing with very low expectations. For those low expectations, which was just the equivalent of a cabin for just a couple of people, you did a very fine job. You learned to play some things. Then, as you started developing, you started being exposed to better guitar players, to more music, and you said, oh, I want to get better, which is perfectly fine. However, you cannot get better, you cannot build a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th floor, you cannot build a skyscraper on the foundations of a cabin. You need to create the foundations of a skyscraper to build a skyscraper. And this is exactly the reason why nothing is going to change unless you find a way to go back and change your foundations, because this is what is keeping you away, not from your goals. It's not lack of good materials. There's all kinds of materials around the internet. This is very easy to find all kinds of different materials. There has to be you have to find a way to go back to your first years of playing and develop your foundations even better. Now, as I said earlier, I suggest that you get a guitar coach. This is the easiest way, this will be the fastest way, and pretty much, if you ask me, is the only way that you can guarantee success on this subject. It's still not going to be very easy, and it's still going to take some time, but it will happen. Any other option, I wouldn't suggest it, but you're definitely welcome to try. So this is my answer on the specific issue. It's very normal what has happened. Several people go through this specific problem, and the solution to that is to basically get personalized, customized assistance in the form of a person to coach you through those difficulties. So I hope this helps, and we'll be back on the next episode of Ask the Guitar Coach. Bye bye.